Good morning and welcome friends. In the previous lecture we were solving the sums related to the trigonometric ratios from exercise 8.1. Let us continue with this. I am having a question that if 3 cot A is equals to 4, then check whether this identity holds true or not. That means 1 minus tan square A upon 1 plus tan square A is equals to cos square A minus sin square A or not. You need to check this, that whether this holds true or not. So let us check. First of all friends, as you can see that this is the question where you are having three different functions. One is tan A in both of this numerator and denominator. The another one is cos A and the third one is the sin A. So friends, you need to find out the values of all these three functions and then you can check, because we can only check or we can only verify this by putting the values of tan A here on the left side and cos A and sin A on the right side. So first of all, let us use the trigonometric ratios to find out the values. So here the solution goes like here, given that 3 cot A is equals to 4. Therefore, cot A is equals to 4 upon 3, you can say. Yes or no? And what is the ratio for cot A? The ratio for cot A is adjacent side to angle A upon opposite side to angle A. Therefore, adjacent side divided by opposite side is equals to 4 upon 3 is equals to K. Let us assume that this is equals to K, or this ratio is equals to K. Therefore, you can say that adjacent side is equals to 4K, right? Adjacent side is equals to 4K and opposite side is equals to 3K. The adjacent side is equals to 4K and opposite side is equals to 3K. So if I put this adjacent side and opposite side on the figure, on the triangle, then how will this be? So if I draw a triangle here, let me draw it here itself. And if I take this as our angle A, then this will be the adjacent side 4K, this will be the opposite side 3K, and this is the hypotenuse which we don't know, because we will require hypotenuse to find out cos A and sin A. So friends, now what we are going to do is we are going to remember some Pythagoras triplets. Pythagoras triplets in the sense that whenever you are given adjacent side and opposite side, at that time the third side is already fixed, or you can also use the Pythagoras theorem. Is it clear or not? So the Pythagoras theorem here, if we use this, therefore from the figure or from the triangle, you can write it down like 3K square plus 4K square is equals to hypotenuse square. So let us say that this is our hypotenuse H. Directly we can write it like directly, no need to write down like adjacent side square plus opposite side square is equals to hypotenuse square, right? When you need to check or verify this kind of sums, because this kind of sums are lengthy to write down. If you write down on the book, then it will become almost 1 or 1.5 page. So that is, we can write down shortly here. But whenever you need to find out the trigonometric ratios, 6 different ratios are there. From that, one will be given and you need to find out the rest of the 5. At that time, you need to write down all these steps without taking out or without omitting any of the step. So let us continue here. Therefore, 9K square plus 16K square is equals to H square. Therefore, 25K square is equals to H square, and hence h is equals to 5k. So we got the value of h, that is equals to 5k, right? So friends, I was talking about the Pythagoras triplet. You are having a triplet. Triplet means three numbers like 3, 4, 5. This is a triplet. Three numbers, a bunch of three numbers is known as a triplet. This is also called as the Pythagoras triplet, where this 5, the greatest number, always denotes the hypotenuse and the rest of the two are the sides or the remaining sides, any of the sides. You can take 3k here and 4k here. You can also reverse the order. If you take 4k here, then you will be having 3k here, but ultimately you will get the hypotenuse as 5 and 5 only. So whenever you are having a triplet like this, and if it makes the sense that the sum, the square of the sum of the first two numbers, the sum of the square, not square of the sum of the squares of the first two numbers is equals to square of the third number, that goes for the Pythagoras triplet. That is known as Pythagoras triplet. So let us see here how. 3 square plus 4 square. What is 3 square? 9. 4 square? 16. That is 25. This can also be written as 5 square. Right? One more example let me give you. 7, 24 and 25. You can also check it here. Let us see. That is 7. So 7 square plus 24 square. What is 7 square, friends? 49. 24 square, you can take it out. That is 576. Add this both, you will get 625, which is 25 square. So you can see here that the sum of the square of 7 and 24 is equals to square of the third number, that is 25 square. So whenever you are having a relation like this between three numbers or in a triplet, at that time you can say that these numbers, these triplet is a Pythagoras triplets or a Pythagorean triplet, right? So you need to remember this. It is easier to find out the hypotenuse when you are having one of these triplets. You can see here that adjacent side is 4k and opposite side is 3k. So that is adjacent side and that is the opposite side. So you can directly judge it that our hypotenuse will be compulsorily 5k only. You can directly judge it without performing any calculation, but you need to show some calculation here to see or to check whether that goes for 5k or not. So hypotenuse we got it here as 5k. Is it clear? So that are known as the Pythagoras triplets. Now let us see further. Coming back to the sum here. So we got the hypotenuse here, friends, as 5k. We are having the remaining two sides. So let us find out the ratios. Now, let us first of all find out sine A. So sine A, that is opposite side upon hypotenuse. So sine A goes for 3k upon 5k, k and k are cancelled, so that is 3 upon 5. We got the value of sine A. Let us find out cos A, that is adjacent side 4k upon hypotenuse, that is 5k, k and k are cancelled and that goes for 4 upon 5. So we got cos A is equals to 4 upon 5, and let us find out the third ratio, that is tan A. You can directly find it out tan A from here, that is exactly reciprocal of cot A, right? Or if you don't want to find it out like that, then also you can find it out like opposite side upon adjacent side, k and k are cancelled, that is 3 upon 4. We got cot A is equals to 4 upon 3, and hence that is verified that the ratio for cot A is reciprocal for the ratio of tan A, or the ratio of tan A is reciprocal for the ratio of cot A. So we got all of our three ratios, sin A, cos A and tan A. Now let us find out. Therefore LHS, that is 1 minus tan square A upon 1 plus tan square A. We are having tan A, let us replace it here. That is equals to 1 minus 3 by 4 square upon 1 plus 3 by 4 whole square. So 3 upon 4 whole square means you need to square individually, numerator square upon denominator square, and that becomes 1 minus 9 upon 16 upon 1 plus 9 upon 16. Friends, see, you don't directly cancel out this denominators, because there is 1 in addition with this. First of all, you need to take the LCM and then you need to cancel out the denominator. So here that becomes 16 minus 9 upon 16 whole divided by 16 plus 9 upon 16. Is it clear? Now you can cancel out this denominator 16 and 16. So friends, 16 minus 9, that is 7, and 16 plus 9, that is 25. So the answer here, that is equals to 7 upon 25. The answer to this ratio, 1 minus tan square A upon 1 plus tan square A, is 7 upon 25. And let us check the RHS also. RHS, that is equals to cos square A minus sin square A. So cos square A, what is cos A, friends? 4 upon 5. 4 upon 5 whole square minus 3 upon 5 whole square. Yes or no? Yes. So 4 upon 5 whole square, that is equals to 16 upon 25 minus 3 upon 5 whole square, that is 9 upon 25. Now, as both of the ratios are separated by a subtraction sign, that is minus, you can directly cancel out the denominators. No, you cannot cancel out the denominators. There is no provision like 25 minus 25 0. So what to do? We will simply make the denominator common. That becomes a common denominator 25. And in the numerator, we will have the subtraction of numbers, that is 16 minus 9. And that becomes 7 upon 25. Okay, that becomes 7 upon 25. As you can see that in both the cases, that is in LHS we got the answer, the ratio 7 upon 25. In RHS we got the answer, the ratio 7 upon 25. Hence, LHS is equals to RHS. And hence you can say that this is true. Check whether this. So yes, that is true, and hence we can say that LHS is equals to RHS. So in this way, friends, you will solve this kind of sum whenever you are asked to check whether a particular identity holds true or not. Is it clear? Okay, take a look over this for a second. I'll keep it for a second and then we shall move further. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to erase this and then we shall solve the next sum. Now, I am having the next sum, friends. That is the ninth one. The question given that in triangle ABC, right angled, at B, if tan A equals to 1 upon root 3, then find the value of The first one, sin A cos C plus cos A sin C, and second one, cos A cos C minus sin A sin C. So the question here is this, that in triangle ABC right angled at B. Now friends, see here we are given the triangle ABC right angled at B. That means B, the vertex B will be having a 90-degree angle, and given that tan A equals to 1 upon root 3. We need to find out the values of this. This is sin A cos C means sin A multiplied by cos C plus cos A multiplied by sin C, and here cos A into cos C, that means cos A multiplied by cos C minus sin A multiplied by sin C. So first of all friends, we will find out the values of all of these ratios, all of these functions, and then we shall simply put it down in the identities as we did in the previous example. Okay, so let us draw the triangle for this. That this is my B. Let me take A here and C here. Right? Okay. So if I take this A as my reference angle, given here, given tan A is equals to 1 upon root 3. Therefore, the ratio for tan A from this given triangle, that is side opposite to angle A upon side adjacent to angle A for tan A. What is the side opposite to angle A? BC. Therefore, BC upon side adjacent to angle A, that is AB, is equals to 1 upon root 3. Yes or no? Right. Therefore, we can directly find out the values. Let us say that this is equals to K. Say that this is equals to K. Therefore, we can say that BC is equals to K and AB is equals to root 3K. So we got two of the sides here. That is K, that is root 3K. Okay, and we need to find out the hypotenuse. Therefore, from the triangle what we can write it down, AB square plus BC square is equals to AC square. Okay, AB square plus BC square is equals to AC square. Therefore, root 3K whole square plus K square is equals to AC square. Therefore, 3K square plus K square is equals to AC square. Hence, AC square is equals to 4K square, and hence AC is equals to 2K. Right? Because if we take square root here on both the sides, we will get AC, and here we will get square root of 4 is 2 and square root of K square is K. So we will get the third side AC is equals to 2K. Now, let us find out sin A. So sin A, friends, that will be side opposite to angle A upon hypotenuse. Sin A, that is equals to BC upon AC, which is K upon 2K, and which is equals to 1 upon 2. We will also find out cos A. So cos A, that is AB upon AC, side adjacent to angle A upon hypotenuse, which is equals to root 3K upon 2K. K and K are cancelled, which is equals to root 3 by 2. Okay, so we got sine A here and cos A. Let us find out sine C and cos C also, because we will require those two also, cos C, sine C, cos C and sine C. Now we shall find out sine C. So sine C, that is side opposite to angle C upon hypotenuse. Sine C, side opposite to angle C, that is equals to AB upon hypotenuse AC, that is root 3k upon 2k, k and k are cancelled, that is root 3 by 2, and cos C, that is side adjacent to angle C, which is BC upon AC, that is equals to k upon 2k, which is 1 upon 2. So if we take C as the reference angle, we will get exactly the opposite values. The value that we got for sine C, sine A, that we get for cos C, and the value that we got for sine C will get for cos A. So we have got these four values here: sine A, cos A, sine C and cos C. Therefore, the first one, sine A into cos C plus cos A into sine C. Therefore, this is equals to sine A 1 upon 2 into cos C 1 upon 2 plus cos A root 3 upon 2 into sine C root 3 upon 2. Okay. So 1 upon 2 into 1 upon 2, friends, that is 1 upon 4, because here you cannot cancel out. Why? Because this ratios, this 1 upon 2 and 1 upon 2 are in multiplication, and that means numerator multiplied to numerator and denominator multiplied to denominator. So 1 into 1 is 1 and 2 into 2 is 4. So that becomes 1 upon 4 plus here root 3 into root 3 is 3 divided by 2 into 2 is 4. Again you can see that the denominators are same in both the ratios. So we will make a common denominator here, that is 4, and in the numerator the terms will be added. That becomes 4 upon 4, which is equals to 1. So we got the value for the first one, that is equals to 1. Sin A into cos C plus cos A into sin C is equals to 1. Let us find out the second one. That becomes, or the question is, cos A into cos C minus sin A into sin C. Therefore, cos A, we got the value of cos A, that is equals to root 3 by 2 into cos C, that is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 into root 3 by 2. Okay, so we got the values here and we have put down the values in the given question for the second one. Let us multiply root 3 into 1, that is root 3 divided by 2 into 2 is 4 minus 1 into root 3, that is root 3 divided by 2 into 2 is 4. Root 3 by 4 minus root 3 by 4, that becomes 0. So the answer for the second one is 0. Right? So the evaluation for the given questions is, if sin A into cos C plus cos A into sin C, the answer is 0, and for cos A into cos C minus sin A into sin C, the answer is, for the previous one, friends, the answer is 1, and for the latter one, the answer is 0. Is it clear? First of all, friends, notice clearly that whenever you are given this kind of question with one of the ratio, you will find out the remaining side. You will first of all find out the remaining side, that we have found out the hypotenuse here. Then try to find out, first of all, try to find out the ratios that are asked in the question. ક્વેશ્ચન ને જુઓ, ક્વેશ્ચન ને જોઈને તમારે જે રેશિયોઝ ની જરૂર છે એ પહેલા ફાઇન્ડ કરી લો, and then once you find out all of these ratios, simply put down the values. the values that you put will be simplified here and you will directly get the answer. See, if you will not find out these ratios in the first place, then what will happen is you need to find out the ratios differently here again. You will go for sin A is this. That means there is a chance of making a mistake here. But if you find out the values first, then there is least chance of making mistakes if you make any mistake to find out the ratio or applying any ratio. So make a clear cut sense that first of all you will find out the ratios of the asked functions from the question and then you will put down the values. Okay? Take a look over it for a second and then we shall move on to the next question. Okay? So let me erase this all. Now, I am having a question. It is similar to the one that we have already solved in the examples. The 10th one. In triangle PQR, right angled, at Q, if PR plus QR is equals to 25 centimeter and PQ is equals to 5 centimeter, then determine the values of sin P, cos P and tan P. You need to determine the values of these three, sin P, cos P and tan P. Now, first of all see what the figure is given. Here, given that angle Q is equals to 90, PR plus QR is equals to 25 centimeter and PQ is equals to 5 centimeter. Right? You are given that PQ is equals to 5 centimeter. Sorry. So, let us draw the figure for this first of all. That will be P, that is R. PQ, that is given as 5. PR plus QR is given 25. So from this here, what we can write? PR is equals to 25 minus QR. Yes or no? We can write it down like PR is equals to 25 minus QR. Yes or no? And from the given triangle, we can say that PQ square plus QR square is equals to PR square. So, PQ square plus QR square, this can be written as 25 minus QR whole square, that is by equation number 1. So this equation number 1 will be replaced here. In place of PR, we can replace it here, that is 25 minus QR whole square. PQ is already given, let us put it down here. Therefore 5 square plus QR square is equals to 625 minus 50 QR plus QR square. The formula that goes for a minus b whole square, that is a square minus 2ab plus b square. You will take a as 25 and b as QR. So 25 square is 625 minus 2ab, that is 2 into 25, that is 50, into b QR plus b square, that is QR square. So that is the formula applied. QR square and QR square can be cancelled. Therefore 25 is equals to 625 minus 50 QR. Therefore 50 QR is equals to 625 minus 25, that is 600. Therefore QR is equals to 600 divided by 50. One of the 0 can be cancelled and hence we get 5 into 12, that is 60. Therefore QR is equals to 12 centimeter. Okay, so we got QR as 12 centimeter and now we will find out PR. Therefore by equation number 1 we get PR is equals to 25 minus QR, which is equals to 25 minus 12, hence PR is equals to 13 centimeter. These are all the simple tricks that you need to understand. The main equation is the first equation that is used twice. In the first place we used it here to find out the value of QR. Once we get the value of QR, again by using first equation we can find out the value of PR. So we got these two values. Now QR, that is equals to 12 centimeter, PR, that is equals to 13 centimeter. So we need to find out the values of sin P, cos P and tan P. Now sin P, that means side opposite to angle P divided by hypotenuse. Side opposite to angle P, that means this will be our reference angle now, and the side opposite to angle P is QR upon hypotenuse, that is PR. Similarly we can find out cos P also. Side adjacent to angle P, that is PQ upon PR, and the third one we can find out tan P, side opposite to angle P upon side adjacent to angle P. You can cross check. This is side opposite to angle P, this is side adjacent to angle P, and that will be the hypotenuse. We got all of the three ratios, simply put down the values. Sin P, so that is QR 12 upon PR 13, cos P, PQ is 5 upon PR 13, and tan P, that is 12 upon 5. So the ratio for sin P is 12 by 13, the ratio of cos P is 5 by 13, and the ratio of tan P is 12 upon 5. Hence these are our required values. Is this thing clear? The easiest one in the sense and the toughest one in the sense, like if you don't know how to expand this 25 minus QR whole square, then not me, in fact God personally cannot help you friends, because this is the most basic thing that you have been studied from standard 6 or 7 I think. A minus B whole square, the identity for A minus B whole square. Is it clear? So if you don't know the identity, make sure that you write it 50 times, 100 times a day and just make yourself comfortable with the identities. So that is our required question. Take a look over it and then we shall discuss some true or false given in the exercise. Okay, so that's it about this question. Now we shall discuss some true or false that are being given in the exercise, and this true or false are important in the way that a question can be asked in section A from this part, from the true or false section. So we will not take this as lightly because each and every mark is important for us. So let us see the first one. It is under question number 11. The first one, the value of tan A is always less than 1. So the answer to this first question is actually coming in the second part, the trigonometric ratios for specific angles. In that, if you will look that whenever you are given any ratio for tan A, at that time the value, if you notice that we had a question previously that tan A is equals to 1 by root 2. So if you know that what is the value of 1 by root 2, that is 1.41, right? If you divide number 1 or if you divide 1 by 1.41, then it will be obviously less than 1. Why? Do you know the reason why? Because here this denominator 1.41 is greater than the numerator, or 1.41 is greater than 1. That means this ratio will be less than 1, and hence you can say that the ratio of tan A is always less than 1. But perfect answer to this question will be coming in the next part, that is trigonometric ratios for trigonometric ratios for specific angles. So for now we will keep this statement as true and we will discuss the answer perfectly in the next topic. Is it clear? The value of tan A is always less than 1 and it is true, right? Suppose, for example, let us say that the previously solved example that we had here was sin P, cos P and tan P. We had the value of sin P, that was 12 upon 13. We had the value of cos P, that is 5 upon 13. And if we want to find out tan P, then that is 12 upon 5. Yes or no? Yes. The value of tan P, that is 12 upon 5. But you can see here that what is 12 upon 5? That is 2.4. But is this less than 1? No, it is greater than 1. So the question that we had here was having some of the variations, that the value of P changes as we move on from 0 to 90 degree, right? So here in this case we had tan P is equals to 2.4 and that is greater than 1. But for this question, in the specific angles, if we will see that the value of tan A is always less than 1. So coming to the conclusion that no, it is not always less than 1 and hence the answer we will get here will be false. Okay, the value of tan A is always less than 1, which goes for false. No, it will not be less than 1 always. This changes the statement always, right? So the answer to the first statement is false. Second question. Sec A is equals to 12 upon 5 for some angle A. Right? Sec A is equals to 12 upon 5 for some angle A. Is this thing true or not? So we have seen the previously solved question that whenever we have 12 upon 5, at that time will this 12 will this 12 be the side and will this 5 be the hypotenuse? No. Will this 12 be the hypotenuse and 5 be the side? No, it is not possible because the ratio for sec A, that is hypotenuse divided by the adjacent side. Hypo divided by the adjacent side, and hypotenuse can be 12. But if the hypotenuse is 12, then the side adjacent to the angle A cannot be 5, because we had the question here that if we have a triangle and if I want to take out that this 12 is the hypotenuse, then this side is 5, then what will be this side? 144 minus 25, that is root 119, I think. That is not possible. Or is it possible? It may be possible, it may not be possible sometimes. But if you see real-time example, then this is not possible. But it is not said for specific angle. It is said for some angle A. And hence, we can say that obviously this can be possible, and which is equals to true. Right? This is true because sec A, the value of sec A can be possible 12 upon 5 if we take any of these angles. Right? If I take 5 here, then this is 12. So that becomes 12 upon 5. It is not asked that what is the opposite side. So we can take any of the sides. Right? And hence this is true for some angle A, sec A is equals to 12 upon 5. Yes, it is possible. And hence the statement is true. See the third one. The third question given, that is cos A is the abbreviation used for cosecant of angle A. True or false? False. How? Cos A is the abbreviation used, friends, for cosine of A. It is used for cosine of angle A, and the cosecant of angle A has the abbreviation cosec A. Is it clear? So, cos A is not the abbreviation of cosecant of angle A, that is the abbreviation of cosine of angle A, and hence the statement is false. Okay, hence the statement is false, that is cos A is not the abbreviation of cosecant of angle A. Fourth one, the question is cot A is the product of cot and A. Is it true? Cot A is the product of cot and A? Friends, no, that is not the product of cot and A. In fact, this cot is represented as cotangent of angle A. It is cotangent of angle A, which gives us the ratio. It will not give us the product, and hence the statement is again false. Right? It is not the product. Friends, clearly note that cot A, tan A, sin A, cos A, cosec A, sec A are not the products. They are not the products. They are in fact the ratios of the angle A for different functions. Is it clear? So that is false. And the fifth one, sin theta is equals to 4 upon 3 for some angle. Sin theta is equals to 4 upon 3 for some angle theta. So friends, first of all check this again. This will again be from the next topic, that is trigonometric values or trigonometric ratios for specific angles. But let us check here, sin theta is equals to 4 upon 3. Is this thing possible or not? So, can you check that is sine theta equals to 4 upon 3 possible? No. Why? Okay, if you say that no, then why? There are two possibilities. Let us see. If you say yes, then why? If you say no, then why? Do you know what is the ratio for sine theta? If I use the ratio, that is sine theta is equals to opposite side upon hypotenuse. The given ratio here is 4 upon 3. Is any of the side greater than hypotenuse? Can you draw a right angled triangle having side greater than hypotenuse? No, never. Because the thing in a right angled triangle is that the hypotenuse is the greatest side of the triangle. Hypotenuse is the greatest side of the triangle whenever you are drawing or whenever you are having a right angled triangle here, right? So hypotenuse is the greatest side. Here hypotenuse is 3 and side is 4, which is not possible, and hence the statement is false. So those who have said that no, they are correct, and those who have said that yes, they are incorrect. Is it clear? So these are the answers to the true or false that we have seen in this exercise. Okay, so that goes for the completion of the first exercise, that is exercise 8.1. If we have any doubt here in this exercise or any of the topics that we have covered till now, please drop a comment in the comment section and that will be covered in the next video. Thank you friends.